In ancient times, after the great flood that purified the earth, I, the Lord, watched as Noah and his family repopulated the world. Among his sons, one story stands out, filled with mystery and controversy, the curse of Ham. Today, I, the Lord your God, reveal this complex narrative, exploring the biblical scriptures and the historicity of the event. I love you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to continue studying my revealed word. Noah, a righteous and blameless man in his generation, had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. After the flood, Noah planted a vineyard, and upon drinking the wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered in his tent. This episode is described in Genesis 9:19. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham was the father of Canaan. These were the 3 sons of Noah, and from them came the people who were scattered over the whole earth. My heart observed when Ham, upon seeing his father's nakedness, not only looked, but told his brothers, bringing dishonor to his family. Shem and Japheth, upon hearing about it, took a garment, laid it across their shoulders, and walked backward to cover their father's nakedness without looking at him. This act of respect is detailed in Genesis 9:23. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father naked and told his 2 brothers outside. But Shem and Japheth took a garment and laid it across their shoulders. Then they walked in backward and covered their father's nakedness. Their faces were turned the other way so that they would not see their father naked. When Noah awoke from his wine and learned what his youngest son had done to him, he pronounced a curse, not directly on Ham, but on Canaan, Ham's son. Noah's words are recorded in Genesis 9:24-27. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves will he be to his brothers." He also said, "Praise be to the Lord, the God of Shem. May Canaan be the slave of Shem. May God extend Japheth's territory. May Japheth live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be the slave of Japheth." This curse has sparked numerous interpretations over the centuries. Some scholars view the curse as a prophecy about the future of the Canaanites, while others seek deeper implications, considering the cultural and historical context of the time. The traditional view suggests that Canaan's curse was a direct consequence of Ham's dishonor, reflecting on subsequent generations. However, it is crucial to note that the curse was pronounced on Canaan, not directly on Ham, which raises questions about the reason for this specificity. The descendants of Noah spread out and formed nations, with Ham becoming the progenitor of the Canaanite peoples. Genesis 10:6 and 20 provides a detailed genealogy. The sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh, in the land of Shinar. Canaan was the father of Sidon, his firstborn, and of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Arkites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. Later, the Canaanite clans scattered. Unfortunately, my children, the interpretation of Ham's curse has been misused throughout history. For centuries, this narrative was employed to justify slavery and other forms of oppression, especially against African peoples. This erroneous interpretation caused immense suffering and injustice, distorting the true meaning of the scriptures. It is vital that we understand the context and intent of my words, avoiding abuses that contradict my teachings of love and justice. Ham's curse is an example of how scriptures can be interpreted in various ways, reflecting the beliefs and prejudices of each era. For a deeper understanding, it is necessary to consider the historical and cultural context in which these texts were written, as well as the overall message of the Bible about justice, redemption, and my divine love. Reflect on the lessons this narrative offers. The story reminds us of the importance of respect and honor within the family and community. Additionally, it warns us about the dangers of interpreting and applying the scriptures in ways that cause harm and oppression. Learn from this story, always seeking the truth and my love. Even in moments of curse and judgment, my grace prevails, and my redemption is available to all. Let this reflection lead to a more responsible and compassionate interpretation of the Scriptures, guided by the love and justice that are the foundations of the Christian faith. Theories and interpretations about Ham's curse. Traditional interpretation. Curse of the Canaanites. The most traditional and widely accepted interpretation is that Noah's curse on Canaan, the son of Ham, was a prophecy about the fate of the Canaanites. The Canaanites were known for their idolatrous and immoral practices, which, according to this view, would justify the curse and the subsequent domination and subjugation of Canaan by other peoples. This interpretation sees the curse as a direct consequence of the dishonor Ham brought upon his father Noah. Biblical references: Genesis 9:24-27. When Noah awoke from his wine and found out what his youngest son had done to him, he said, "Cursed be Canaan, the lowest of slaves will he be to his brothers." He also said, "Praise be to the Lord, the God of Shem. May Canaan be the slave of Shem. May God extend Japheth's territory. May Japheth live in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be the slave of Japheth." Symbolic interpretation: representation of evil and sin. Another interpretation suggests that Ham's curse has a symbolic meaning, representing the perpetuation of sin and evil through generations. Ham, by dishonoring his father, symbolizes the moral corruption and degradation that can spread among peoples. Canaan, as his descendant, carries this mark of dishonor and sin. Biblical references: Romans 5:12. Therefore, just as sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all people, because all sinned. Cultural and historical interpretation: justification of conquest. Throughout history, Ham's curse has been used to justify the conquest and subjugation of the Canaanite peoples by the Israelites. This interpretation views the narrative as a literary and theological construction that legitimizes the domination and occupation of Canaan's land by the descendants of Shem. Thus, the curse served to justify the policy of conquest and expulsion of the Canaanites from the Promised Land. Biblical references: Deuteronomy 7:1-2. When the Lord your God brings you into the land you are entering to possess and drives out before you many nations, the Hittites, Girgashites, Amorites, Canaanites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites, 7 nations larger and stronger than you. And when the Lord your God has delivered them over to you and you have defeated them, then you must destroy them totally. Make no treaty with them and show them no mercy. Ethical and moral interpretation: condemnation of family dishonor. An ethical and moral interpretation focuses on the importance of respect and honor within the family. Noah, by cursing Canaan, underscores the severity of the dishonor Ham brought upon him. This view emphasizes the moral responsibility to respect and honor parents, and by extension, all legitimate authorities. Biblical references: Exodus 20:12. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. Colonialist interpretation: justification of servitude. Unfortunately, over the centuries, the narrative of Ham's curse was distorted and used to justify servitude and racism, particularly against African peoples. This malignant interpretation emerged in the Middle Ages and was exacerbated during the colonial period, suggesting that the descendants of Ham, erroneously interpreted as Africans, were destined for servitude. This view is widely rejected today for being contrary to the biblical principles of justice, love, and equality of all humans before God. Biblical references: Acts 17:26. From one man he made all the nations, that they should inhabit the whole earth, and he marked out their appointed times in history and the boundaries of their lands. Ham's curse is a narrative that has generated various interpretations throughout history, reflecting the cultural, theological, and ethical views of each era. It is crucial to interpret this passage responsibly, considering the historical and cultural context, and rejecting any use that promotes injustice and oppression. As we study this story, may we always seek God's truth and love, understanding the Scriptures in a way that promotes justice, redemption, and equality according to divine teachings. As we reflect on the story of Ham's curse, it is essential to remember that above all, the central message of the Bible is one of love, justice, and redemption. God, in His infinite wisdom and compassion, calls us to live in harmony, respecting and honoring one another, regardless of our origin or history. The narrative of Ham's curse teaches us about the consequences of dishonor and disobedience, but it also invites us to seek understanding and mercy in our judgments. God's justice is always balanced by His grace, and His intention is for all of us to find redemption and peace in His love. I invite you, dear viewer, to reflect on these lessons and consider how we can apply these principles of love and respect in our daily lives. God loves us deeply and desires for us to live in harmony and justice, following His teachings and spreading His light around us. If this message has touched your heart or sparked new reflections, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective is valuable and can enrich our collective understanding of this important biblical passage. May God's love always be with you, and may we continue to seek His truth and His peace in all our actions. Leave your comment and let us together deepen our journey of faith and understanding.